I'm chilling with my man. I'm in, what's this restaurant called? No, I'm sorry, it's a weed store.
We on Soy Bacal towards the end of Soy Bacal.
We on Soy Bacal, the end towards the Soy Bacal. And this is a weed marijuana. What is this?
This is the bar. Another bar on Soy.
This is a bar where you can smoke. This is a bar where you can smoke.
Yeah, I think we're next to FMP.
What is it called?
FMP.
FMP, okay. And what's the name of this bar?
I forgot the name. We'll get it later.
Oh, okay. He forgot the
forgot the name.
Ask the woman, man. I feel, oh, right here, nah. Karaoke night. He got karaoke here. We're gonna get the name in the middle of the interview, but we just came here just to slide out real quick and just chill, get, you know, we, like I said, we brainstorming. Shout out to T.M.I at KICKIN, super veteran and all that. I told him, I said, he our last hope, like Yoda and all that. You know what I mean? We're gonna send CP3O and R2D2 and be like, you our last hope, man.
Nah, bro.
Cause the passport bro Jedi's is we under attack. You a Star Wars fan?
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Oh, so you remember when they were getting attacked?
I remember.
Order 13 and all that, whatever, just destroying all the Jedi's.
I just sell wings, brother. I sell wings.
No. You got one more war, brother. One more war. And I was talking to this brother and I was like, yo, man, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, because he was telling me, like, yo, you got to get back here, man. Get your priorities in order. Come back, chill. You know what I mean? And, you know, welcome Thailand as your new home, like all these other brothers. But he was telling me, like, yo, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, where you staying at is cool, but get focused and come to PATTAYA or jump to end. Is that right? Is that correct, brother?
Absolutely. You know, get your affairs in order and come out here and enjoy life, man. Don't listen to a lot of the noise. You know, a lot of the noise is small situations, you know, or very specific situations that happen to a specific person.
Right.
You do gotta, you know, make sure you move properly out here. Everywhere's got their own little, you know, vibe and things to do and things not to do. But yeah, come out here, enjoy yourself, relax. You'll have a good time. You know, as long as you stay within the limits of the law, you can have a good time and enjoy yourself. I almost don't know how guys come out here and don't enjoy themselves.
Have you heard a lot of stories of dudes getting into trouble purposely? Not purposely, but they acting like they're still in the street.
Yeah, like to me, this is not the place for that. You know, you're being your own supervillain. You know what I mean? You're killing your own story and you're doing it to yourself. You know, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to come out here, have some drinks. If you want to smoke, you can smoke. You know, if you want to meet a nice young lady, you can meet a nice young lady. Or if you want to meet a lady for an hour or two, or a day or two, or a month or two, you can all do it out here. It's too easy.
You said you don't recommend brothers take the bar girls.
Not for something serious. You know, it's just like back home. You know, if you meet a girl at a strip club, it can be done, but your chances, you know, are slim. You know, there's an easier way to go about life.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So it's not recommended, but if you're willing to take that chance, you know, it can work.
Right. So talk a little bit more about KICKIN Chicken and all that, and the advancement of the menu and all that. And you've been stepping it up, like you've been really like going hard.
Yeah. You know, I kind of had to stop being scared. I stopped being worried about what people would say or could say or whatever, and just have confidence in my food and what I'm doing. You know, I tell people, you know, the lemon pepper wings, I held them off for like 3 months before I finally decided to just say, you know what, I'm gonna do it.
Right.
It's something that I didn't think people would be into. I didn't think people would like, and I was 100% wrong. Our lemon pepper wings sell very well.
Right. Like I said, you definitely an OG in the game, man. If there's one law that you live by, like one law, like since you came here, like the first day, what would you tell brothers like you learned like in the first month of you ever coming to Thailand? Like what is the law, like the number one thing brothers should do when they coming out here for like say 5 months, 4 months, 3 months?
I would say practice patience.
Woo, that's dope.
When it comes to the women, I feel that there's a lot more good women here than in the States. Not saying that all women here are good, but I feel like the ratio here compared to the U.S. is way different. It's way better in your favor over here. So you don't need to rush. You know, if you meet a woman and she's nice, she's treating you good, y'all are happy together and everything like that, but you don't live here.
Right.
You know, be okay with letting her go and maybe meeting somebody else. You don't have to have that one girl. There's going to be another girl that will, you know, when you decide to live here, that will treat you just as good.
Right.
So you don't need to be in a rush. When it comes to taxis, when it comes to food, when it comes to restaurants, you know, you may not get the same style service that you're going to get in the U.S. You know, it's kind of one of the reasons why tips are not really a big thing here, because their understanding of
I peeped that.
food service is different. Their ideology is, okay, I take the order, I bring you your food, I bring you your drink, and I come back and collect the tab. That's their kind of basic understanding versus what we do in the U.S. is completely different. You know, we have service that come and check on you, hey, every 10, 15 minutes, hey, you need something else. They're not going to do that here. You know, so temper your expectations and have some patience. You know, don't let things get under your skin. You know, just remember you're on vacation.
Right.
And don't let like $5 or $10 stop you from having a good time.
Right.
You know.
Tell that line that you said on one of my comments on one of my videos about the patience of sun crime.
Yeah, sun crime is what sun crime is. Everybody doesn't like it and everything, but if it's not what you like or want, then it's their culture, it's their way, and you don't have to be in it.
Facts.
Nobody told you that you got to be outside.
Facts.
So if you're not into if you don't like what's going in, you know, hey, hit the grocery store, or go to one of the areas where they don't play a whole lot. If you go out to Pattaya, Jomtien, they're not going as crazy as they are in Pattaya. Pattaya,
Right.
it's for celebration, hanging out, good time, bars. So if that's not what you're feeling, you have other areas you can hang out in that will better fit what you're looking for. And that's one of the things I keep trying to tell people is the beauty of, you know, Thailand and Pattaya in general. You can do it your way for the most part.
Thanks.
If you want to party and bullshit, it's here. If you want to settle down and find a good woman, you can do it. You know, within the legal, limits of the law for most things, you can do out here. And then if you change your mind and decide, you know what, I'm tired of running around walking the street, I'm gonna get me a regular girl.
Right.
You can do it.
That's dope.
And fairly reasonable. You're not having to spend, Ruth Chris on the first date money out here. You got girls that would be more than happy with, let's go get 2 coconuts and sit on the beach for a couple hours. I think sometimes brothers get caught up in the trap of easiness, easy women, easy things.
Get used to pay for play.
Right, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. 2 adults in agreement, I don't have any problems with that. But you have to understand, what you want and what you're asking for. You meet a girl, she's in a tight dress and all that kind of stuff. That may be signs of a short-term connection.
Right.
You go in 7-Eleven or Big C or wherever, and you see a good-looking lady, why not shoot a shot?
Do you think a hoe can be a housewife?
I think anything's possible, for one. I think the percentage is what we should talk about. Because obviously out here, it happens. There's plenty of guys that then took a girl off of Soy 6 and moved her up north, and they have a good life together.
You told me that, yeah, I remember that.
I think the percentage is low because those girls who work Soy 6, they're looking for money. And a lot of guys aren't willing to replace her income or can't replace her income to make it to where she can go up north and live comfortable with you. So that's one of the reasons why I say I don't recommend them unless you're okay with having some type of monetariness to your relationship.
Right.
I think you will do a lot better with a woman out here who has her own job, maybe she's got her own motorbike, her own place like that. That would be more the woman that you want to kind of sit down with. And they're out here, so like I said, there's whatever way you want to do it, it's out here. If you want to play around, those girls will play out here. If you want to sit down, those girls are out here. It comes down to more about what she's going to look like. Because you can get good treatment out here.
100%.
That's easy. Now, if you're a 50-year-old guy and you're out of shape, that girl who's taking care of you is not going to be a 10. She's not going to be. She's not going to be an 8, unless you.
Got women here.
Unless you. What was I saying?
How are you? Okay, you speak English. Hello, I'm doing a quick interview with my friend YouTube. How are you?
Introduce yourself.
Good. I'm pretty good.
You work here?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay, you're beautiful. I'm gonna get you a drink, okay? I'm a,
No, I'm sorry because I have an
okay.
And her
I'll see you
English-
next time I come. I'll buy you a drink. You gonna be here tomorrow? Tomorrow. When you come back?
I'm staying here, but I'm not here.
Oh, okay.
Can't be that easy.
You're very beautiful. Okay. Yeah, she's beautiful.
Little British accent.
I tried. British accent. You said British?
Someone with a little bit of a British accent.
Where she worked in?
She may have just had a British boyfriend.
She had a British boyfriend. Yeah, they right. Because I heard one with a southern accent. You believe that shit? Let me ask you a question. And we going to keep it real and all that. Remember I told you they ranked Q Culture #1, Soul Bistro #2, you #3. But I said, like, Tommy's like, and I'm going to call you OG Tommy Johnson. I know that. Word up. But I said, kicking chicken like around the way. Where you go to get a meatball sandwich real quick, and then you go back to the Madden. You go back to the crib, you playing the music, you're in the garage, fixing your car. It's a quick fix.
Right.
But you were telling me how you constantly working on the menu and all that. And like I said, I think Kickin' Chicken is personable. Where you can go in there, you got his family in there, and the food is official. Like, to me, it's like you always gonna find something on the menu that you're not gonna like at McDonald's. You're gonna find something IHOP. Like, I hated their banana pancakes. You know what I mean? So what is it you also doing to improve on Kickin' Chicken? Because you are the owner of Kickin' Chicken.
One of the main things, I just try to stay consistent with the food. It's not easy here when you have people of a different culture, who have a different understanding and ideology behind the way they cook to actually make, food from other countries.
Right.
So my main thing is just try to stay consistent because what you don't like, somebody else likes. So try to find that happy middle ground where you can kind of try to keep most people happy. And that's where I try to do. I know my wings are good. The extra stuff is kind of just extra. So when you want to change it up for wings, we got the nachos, we got quesadillas now.
That's what's up.
We got the chili, the chips and chili, stuff like that. So it's just, it's kind of like Buffalo Wild Wings, They got burgers.
Facts.
Are their burgers great? No, but they're okay. Especially if you want to change it up and get tired of wings.
Right.
They got you.
But I think you could bang with the best of them. I think you right. I think it's like a three-way tie between Culture, Soul Bistro, and Kickin' Chicken.
Yeah, and you also got Munchies. Don't forget about him. You got MJ's Pizza.
Shout out to MJ Pizza. We're going to do a review on him too.
Yeah. So I think everybody has something to offer. Everybody has something that they're doing a little bit different. I think we all have something different to bring to the table. You just can't compare places that aren't doing this, the same thing.
Facts.
It's kind of just like basketball. You kind of can't compare, Michael Jordan to what these guys are doing today.
Facts. And you definitely, yo, bro, for real, I'm gonna give you your credit and all that. Like, you definitely a force out here and all that, man. Like, you gotta give yourself more credit, man. You don't come up to me as a dude that runs from trouble. There's trouble. We need you. You got to strap up one more time, man. Do you want us to like go fund you and all that, like to get you back in the war? Cause the brothers need you, man. There's no more OGs out here, man. You the last OG online.
I sell wings, though. That's what I do.
We need you though, brother. Make sure y'all go to Tommy's Kickin' Chicken, man. Hopefully we can get like a TMI, like TMI tots or TMI teriyaki wings or something. Hopefully, cause I'm a huge supporter, but like I said, like we kind of like built up a bond or friendship outside of YouTube, outside of like traveling, like just two dudes kicking it, talking about beer and helping me get right. Like, I'm older than Tommy a little bit, I think I am, but I look like Uncle Tommy and all that. But you need, I think, an OG out here, or at least a guide, right?
Yeah. The issue is, are you going to listen to that guy? I think a lot of guys have the knowledge, but at the end of the day, you're a grown man, and you're going to spend your money